Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County COPWATCH, and I have a gadget and/or software that I think you should. I highly recommend that you use because, as you've seen here on my channel, I unfortunately have experienced the corruption from the Charlotte County Sheriff. Bill PRUMMELL knew about it. Ken Hill is the one that did the corruption, and many knew about it and did nothing. And that's why we have COPWATCH now. Charlotte County COPWATCH and/or Live Free or Die People YouTube channel just hit 48 million views in a little over 3.5 years, and it's at 43,000 subscribers. And I noticed my cell phone starting to act weird, and I'm starting to investigate that. A lot of people say when your cell phone starts to act a little bit weird, that you probably should start checking to see if there's a stingray on you. And if a lot of you guys don't know, a stingray is basically the cops and the government and the feds all have a new toy that pretends it is a cell phone tower, and this sucker's it is unfreaking real what it can do. It can literally go in between your cell phone tower and basically get your voice, get your data. They can literally hack your phone with this sucker too if they wanted, if they were really good. And they're supposed to do it legally with the search warrant wiretap, but since a lot of the judges and people don't even know about it, they just use it when they want. And so they're violating your Fourth Amendment big time. Another thing that it does too, people don't realize, is that when they turn this sucker on, man, this gets everybody in their area. So now you're really being illegal. You're starting to get a bunch of people you weren't even supposed to. But they don't care. They're completely out of control, completely unconstitutional. Everything is illegal and you are not free. But I got a bait phone, and that's what I'm calling it. It's a bait phone. It's a phone that, it's cheap, runs Android. I'm running this program on it, Cell Spy Sketcher, and it just sits there and it just monitors. Actually, it's perfect for finding out if they probably got one in your house or near your area, because all it does is it sits there and it actually just watches, and it shows you, because your phone's doing it already, but it shows you the information that your phone is getting that you didn't know before. And it took 2 weeks for it to find it, but it found it. It always looks at what cell tower am I connected to and is everything fine. So it's been sitting there for 2 weeks, and guess what happened in the past couple days? I got the red warning page. Something changed, and it's 2 different times, 2 different days now. In fact, both times it happened so quick. I have friends of mine here that are thinking that it's probably a stingray in a moving car, because, like I said, it just happened in the past 2 days, couple of days, but the warning sign came up, man. It's like, hey, your cell tower's moving and it's not supposed to. So that's a bad sign. And it's not just that. It's, all cell towers have a bunch of data and information in there that this program also looks at. So when that information changes, that is how they know. So it's not just the cell phone strength, but it's also the information of that tower. And I'm going to show you what I got, and then I'm going to show you this program too. And I'm going to let the screen reader do a thing on it too, and it's free. I highly recommend it. If you're in a position like I am, doing what I am, I mean, we're going to be suing Charlotte County Sheriff because they illegally looked me up on the David system because I run Charlotte County COPWATCH. They don't believe in free speech and investigating them, because they think they can do no wrong, even though they don't give a crap about the Constitution. They're violating people's rights every single day. So this is what it found on me. This is the red thing that came up, and it said, "Wait a minute, something's wrong." And then, as you see here, it's called the LEC has changed. So, like I said, that's one thing that they look at in the data is, all this other stuff is the same, and all of a sudden this changed. So there again, like I said, every tower has different identifiers, and that's one of the identifiers. And so, like I said, this is what came up the other day. The LEC has changed. That's not So like I said, it had all that data for 2 weeks, and all of a sudden it changed. It's like, what the fudge? That's not normal. Well, the reason why it's not normal is because there's a freaking stingray. And then, yeah, that's the same picture, January 14th, 2017, and that's the same one. There's a different one. Okay, so here's a different one. All right, there you go. LAC change again, 13326. So, yeah, there's a 17th. So yeah, that's what's going on. It's actually a very simple program when you think about it, man. So yeah, that's all it's doing. It's already looking at the data your phone already had, but you know, it knows that if your phone is sitting in one spot, like I said, I got a bait phone just sitting here. That's what I'm going to call it, is bait phone. And it runs the program, and it's like, oh, wait a minute, something changed. That's not normal. So, yeah, that's what it's seen change. See, there you go. Like I said, 13326 there, and it, you know, the regular tower that I'm on is not that number. And then here, 27673. So that is not supposed to change. I also looked online too. I'm shocked nobody's got a video on this, so that's why I wanted to make a video. But so let's put that away and you know, cell spikes catcher, and then show you some of the stuff. They're showing you all the screens you get. So yeah, this is interesting. Persons or agencies may set up fake cell towers of spy news. Such towers can force your phone to connect to them and listen in on your phone calls. So you know, you got a naval, you got your sitting, you know, right now it's this. So you, okay, then here's a self-learning process, and this, like I said, this sucker's thorough, and it's simple, but I totally know and believe why it works. Because, like I said, for me, it's a bait phone. It just sits there. It's on a super cheap, low price plan, and it's not really using any data because it's just looking for the cell tower that you're connected to. So I just you know, let it run, and there it sits. And then boom, that's the kind of stuff that you'll get right there. And that's the warning that I got in the past couple days. So, and then it even gives, you know, too, do you want to put it on the white list, the black list? I keep saying the white list just to see what, you know, it keeps coming up. So, but I mean, it does a lot, man. I mean, periodic check, self-learning, visual warning, audible warning, log networks while learning. You can also see the log too after it's done running, and even when it's running, you can see the log. MC catcher fake. What is a fake cell tower? So they even tell you what they all are. And MC catcher fake. Foreign powers, local law enforcement. Yeah, everybody's using fake cell towers, and that's totally real. I mean, these suckers are everywhere now. It's getting really, really out of hand. And yeah, so here's some of the log stuff that you'll see when you get the program, and that's what it keeps doing. It keeps looking at your CID number for the cell tower, your LAC number, and you know, keep making sure it's the same. And all of a sudden, if it starts to change, then yeah, something's wrong. I don't know what that's running on, but anyway, so like I said, I'm going to do a screen reader on this, so you can learn about everything that it does. As you see here, there's a bunch of stuff that it does. Highly worth it. And yeah, I already asked I already know Charlotte County Sheriff here did admit to me they have it. I did a FOIA request to see if he would admit to it. Of course, he doesn't. And actually, they sign a like an FBI thing too that says they can't even admit they have it. So that, I mean, this is what really, 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 really makes it scary. And if you have a case where you think they used it, and you bring that up in court, sometimes they actually will drop your case because they're trying to. That's how much they're trying to hide it. So, anyways, I highly recommend it. I'm going to do the screen reader, and yeah, get it.
Cell Spy Catcher, Anti-Spy, 812 SCABAPS tools. Everyone this app is compatible with all of your devices. This app will help you in detecting IMSI catchers, also called fake cell towers or stingrays. For several years the FBI and local police have been listening to our calls and reading our text messages, using so-called IMSI catchers. One example of such a fake cell tower is a stingray. which is produced in the USA. Stingrays are mobile devices that simulate cell phone towers, forcing nearby phones to connect to them. They can identify your phone, and possibly listen to your calls, without having to put a spy app in your phone. These cell spy devices can capture information from all cell phones within range, including IMSI identity, location, SMS messages, call logs and call content. IMSI stands for International Mobile Subscriber Identity, which will identify your phone. It is known that at least 53 agencies and 21 states own Stingrays. Law enforcement agencies, foreign powers, and possibly criminals, are using such cell site simulators for surveillance purposes, without our knowledge. Cell spy devices can be hand-carried, or be mounted in vehicles, airplanes, helicopters and unmanned aerial vehicles. During a self-learning process, the app will learn all networks, cell towers, base stations that are used by your phone. After the self-learning process, if this app should happen to detect one of these cell spies, you will be warned by an optional sound and/or an optional red screen. The simplest way to avoid being listened in on is then to turn off your phone for a while, or at least to keep silent. When the app detects a network that is not included in its internal database, it will consult an external database of networks. If the network is not found there, it is assumed to be unknown. Features: very easy to use, self-learning process, periodic checks for networks, selectable network checking period, logging of all events, internal self-learned database, integration with external database up and Cellade, optional detection, logging and warning of unknown networks, even attacks only lasting for a few seconds can be detected, measurement of duration of attacks, list of all identified networks, export of CSV file, analysis of current and historical network data, warning level assessment, support for GSM, AMT/GMA, CDMA and LTE, battery saving design, using a passive GPS location technique to save power. Internet access is recommended, but not necessarily required. Internet access will improve the detection quality of unknown networks, always running in the background, even when phone sleeps. Auto restart at boot time, rooted phone not required, no special phone/hardware required, also works on tablets with SIM card, lots of answers to FAQs, info about fake cell towers, Stingray, etc. How to use. After you have opened the app the first time, you should start the self-learning process, which may take a few days, and have the phone with you at all times, wherever you may be, in order for the app to learn about all local networks. If you move to another place, you should restart the self-learning process. By using this app, you participate in the large collaborative community project Up and Cellade, which collects the locations of mobile/cellular phone towers, which now is a database that contains almost 7 million unique mobile/cellular phone tower IDs. Use of this database will increase the probability of detecting real unknown cell towers, and thus to find IMSI catchers, and you can be an active part of it. If you should never detect a fake cell tower, you should consider yourself lucky, and not blame us. Many problems seem to be caused by simple misunderstandings. So if you have a problem that cannot be answered by the FAQs section of the app, please send us an email before you consider making a bad rating. Maybe we can help you. scobbaps@gmail.com